Hello everyone, welcome. Today I'm going to show you my Rouge Berry Cristata. Currently, this is potted in a 6-inch. I want to say it's a clay pot. I'm not quite sure. I purchased this online. It was very cute. I like the fact that I think it is clay pot. It does have some sort of finish on it, so it's shiny outside, but in the inside it is not shiny, if I recall. So I moved the camera over so I could show you guys a better view, a top-down view. So it is scalloped. The edges are scalloped, and I thought that that was really cute. And I think it's these low profile pots are perfect for cristata succulents because it is sort of like I mean the way they grow is they sort of circle around the pot. So if you size up, if you want them to size up, you can continue to transfer the pot every so often, and it will continue to grow. Now I that's excuse me, that's what I've been testing because originally when I received this one, I had planted it in sort of like a 3 or 4 inch pot, and um, it wasn't really doing anything. It wasn't. It came as a cutting, and it didn't have any roots, so I needed it to establish roots first, and it sort of wasn't doing that. It might have been because I was using a sort of like a three, I think it was 3 inches or 3.5 inches, and it was like a cone shaped um, pot, much like one of the ones that I have on my shelf, like those like cone shaped ones. Um, and it just wasn't rooting. Um, I actually knocked it over once. I know it's terrible. I keep saying that I knock over pots, but I do that all the time. Moving them around, just trying to look at them, making sure that they're okay. And in that process, I'm always knocking over pots. I haven't done that in a while, so I am improving. so so this one started off in a 3 inch pot, and I moved it over to a five, sorry, 4.5, 3.5. I'm going back and forth. 4.5 inch pot. It was a porcelain pot. Um, so I only have a handful of pots that are sort of like low profile, as you can see in this one. It's low profile. They don't really, I don't think their roots get super, super long. So, and I think they look better in a low profile pot. So, um, I've been sort of moving them along. And in the last, um, I want to say 7, 8 months, I've repotted this one 2 times. So this is, and I just moved it over to this one now. This is 6 inches. And excuse me, my throat is just closing today. Um, so yeah, this is in a 6 inch, and since then, and I just repotted. I wish I had the dates on me, and I have it written down in my notes, but I want to say less than a month ago, and since then it's already grown. Um, so I'm gonna put the camera down. Give me 1 second. So I've learned that these succulents, what happens with them is when you change the pot, it's just their, I guess, formation, how they grow. They basically circle around the pot, and that they keep growing until they become the size of the pot. And I was a little skeptical at first, but I tried it with this one, and as it turns out, it's true. It's actually kind of gotten taller too, because in the previous pot, when I had it in the 4.5 inch, it was more closer to the ground, um, and it actually got kind of tall. So you can see that the roots are well, the the trunk. It's almost like a, I don't know if this is gonna end up growing to be like a sort of like a bonsai tree, like some of the other crested ones I have that I've shown before with the aeonium. I don't know if it's gonna end up looking like that, but it has. This is the first time I've actually kind of seen the trunk, and it's gotten a little taller. It's gotten bigger in size. I'm gonna pop in some photos, and then you guys can see the difference. But this definitely has grown. It's gotten taller. It's gotten you know, sort of the circumference of the um, succulent has gotten bigger as well. The only other thing is I haven't watered it since I put it into this pot, and I feel like it needs some water, but we've had some rain in the last couple of days, so I don't want to water it um, just yet, not knowing that when knowing that the sun is not going to be out. So I haven't watered it yet, but I will soon because it's before uh, before I transferred it to this pot. When you like sort of touch it, it was like rock hard. It was some. I mean, it's still firm, but it definitely is sort of like more soft to the touch, and I feel like it definitely needs water. So I'm gonna water it real soon, just not quite yet, not quite there yet. As you can see in this one, I do love the fact that it's a mixture of like these crested, there's these sort of areas, and then you have the face, the rosettes here too. So when I first received this, it was in the, I do believe, I think I bought it in January. So it still had its color, and obviously it was a mature plant, so it had this beautiful like sort of red um, sort of edges and like spotted leaves on the edges, all around the edges of the leaves, like red apple color red. Um, but that's all gone now because obviously in the spring they grow and it lost all its color. It had it until spring, but literally once spring hit, I repotted it into the 4.5 inch, and like it grew overnight, and the color was all gone, which I'm okay with because the color will come back um, in the fall. So um, not so worried about that. I think I'm so excited about these as well because I've seen the color and it's just so beautiful. So I'm waiting for them to color up again in the fall, and I'm super excited that it's gotten bigger, and I'm just looking forward to this filling up the pot. As you can see, it is putting out a lot of like dry leaves. I think I'll pull some of them off, but I mean, they come off fairly easily. I don't, some of them are not quite ready. Um, I need both hands for this, but I'm actually holding onto the mic right now because, as I mentioned in a previous video, I did purchase a new mic, but it's really not doing a good job. I feel like the sound quality in some of my videos, and I do apologize for that because um, it's very muffled, and I've noticed when I play it back. So I'm not even sure if you guys are really hearing my voice, but that's okay because sometimes, I think you'd much rather just look at the succulents in your. I know I do that with a lot of my channels too. I do sit through and watch most of the channels I follow from beginning to end because I do like the information that they give, and I really need it for growing my succulents back here. But yeah, because as I mentioned, it is still a very big experiment for me. So I want to make sure that I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing. And I don't know if you can tell, but there's a lot of like air roots. I don't even know what they're called. These tiny. Ooh, there goes my gravel. Air roots. And I'm trying to let the camera focus. Sort of growing out of the trunk, and this happens a lot with these some of the succulents. Uh, I believe there are several reasons for that. One of them that being that it could be a sign of it needing water, and I know this definitely needs water. So when there's like high humidity, and they're in desperate need of water, they will put out these air roots. Um, they don't really need them because I mean, of course, we do water them, so you actually want them to, pull up the water through the roots and not these air roots on the in the trunk. So you can just kind of scrape them off. They come off fairly easily. Or sometimes I heard that they do that when they're not well. So it's hard to tell. I'm still a beginner, so it's hard to tell which is the case. But in this case, I do feel like it's because of water, and that's kind of that could be my wishful thinking, but I do think that it's because of the water. So I will clean this off, all the roots and like the dry dead leaves. I'll clean that off at one point. Um, and yeah, I think that's it for this. Um, I'm just gonna show you. I know a couple of days ago I watered a few of my plants. So as a follow up, I wanted to show you guys the handful of succulents I gave water a couple of days ago before the rain. Um, so this was the bluebird, and it definitely responded to the water. The leaves in the center are pretty much rock hard. The outer leaves, it did get firmer, but you know um it didn't get as chubby as I would have liked. This is my first bluebird, so I don't know if the leaves even supposed to get chubby. But the biggest difference right now, I don't know if you guys could tell, but it's this flower stem. It's gotten like super tall. It's like after I gave the water, it grew like another half an inch, I want to say. It's like bizarre. I still do think that it's a flower stem, but it totally looks like a offset. It looks like a pup. I don't know. It's hard to say because when they come out um, so closer, so close to the center, the face of the rosette. A lot of times they're just flower stems, but it looks just like the mama. So I don't know. I still didn't get a chance to Google that or look into that. I will real soon. And then I'm going to show you this other one, the Marcus, Echeverria Marcus. This one, it's hard to say. I don't even know if it responded. I feel like it's still very sort of like soft and, you know, flimsy. Um, I feel like the rosette opened up a little bit. The face like sort of like opened up a little bit. Um, I really don't know what's going on with this. Maybe the roots never really established. I don't know. I will take it out of the pot and take a look at it soon, just not right now because it's the summer and just don't want to mess around with these. And this one was the sedum clavidum. This one definitely responded. I could tell it's actually gotten taller, at least in my eyes, and the leaves got bigger too, and chubbier. The stems, I feel like it got taller. It's like overnight. It's amazing to me how some of these succulents, if they're healthy and their roots are well established, they respond to the water almost immediately. Sometimes within hours, sometimes after a day. I mean, it takes up to like 2 days, I want to say. But this one, it's just like, ooh, nice and plump. It's so cute. It's gotten chubbier. I actually didn't water the other one as much. This I gave it a good sort of amount. It didn't not enough to like really soak through and like come out the bottom of the pot, but I did give it a good amount, more so than these other two. Oh, sorry, in the back. But it's definitely responding. Its face got bigger. It's still growing. It's not dormant. So I'm very happy about that. As I mentioned in the earlier video, I do have to repot this real soon. But that's gonna some repot. I have a lot of things to repot right now. I'm just kind of putting it off as much as I can. So when I do that, I will definitely post some videos of that. So I think that's it today. Thanks for watching. Bye now.